Hi everybody, my name is Carissa Barker and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I am going to be telling you a couple stories of bad dates that I've been on, just because I think that they are pretty funny and I'm hoping that I can make you laugh, or maybe you can even relate to one of these stories. So we actually are going to start with the most recent story, but it still was several months ago, and we're gonna call him Tyler. I met Tyler on Tinder because it is a great way to meet people and just go on dates and have fun. I don't take it super seriously. I'm not expecting to find my future husband on there or anything, but I like meeting new people, and so it is kind of just fun to go on there every once in a while and go out with people. But anyway, Tyler asked me if I would go see a movie with him, and I said yes because I didn't have anything better to do with my night. So I sent him my address and he told me he was gonna be there in like an hour or whatever. And then that hour comes and goes and he still hasn't come yet, and he texts me and says, "Hey, sorry, I'm gonna be late, I got pulled over." Which is not a great way to start out your date, being late and getting pulled over. It's not really setting a good impression. Eventually he got to my house and he just texted me that he was here. And that is one of my biggest pet peeves. It is so annoying. If you're coming to my house to pick me up, get out of your car, walk to my door, and knock on it. Like, don't just text me that I'm here unless I specifically tell you to do that because my family is sleeping or whatever reason, but I didn't do that. And this is our first time ever meeting, and I don't know hardly anything about this guy, and he's just sitting there in his car waiting for me to walk out. It's super awkward. I want to have a real introduction before I just get in your car and drive off with you. You know, like, I need to see like if I have good vibes with you before I just get in your car. You know, does that make sense? So that was just really annoying that he just texted me. So I go out, I get in his car, and we are driving to the movie. And the whole time it was just really awkward. Like, I asked him why he got pulled over, and he said it was for texting and driving, but that he wasn't actually texting, and just, I don't know. It just was really awkward, and he didn't really like ask me any questions to like get to know me or anything. We were just like sitting there, and I was like trying to start a conversation. He was in the military, so I was like asking him questions about that, and he just kept being like, "Oh, well, yeah, you wouldn't understand, like just moved on. And I was like, okay. Anyway, so we get to the movie and we are sitting there. We went to one of those theaters that have kind of like the recliner chairs that are pretty comfortable, and like the feet go up and you can lay back and stuff. And so they're really great for cuddling, but I really had no intention of cuddling with him. It was our first date. I've known this guy for a total of an hour, and he already didn't have a good impression to start with, so I really wasn't like intending to cuddle with him at all. But as soon as we sat down in our seats, he decided to put his arm around me, and it was one of those times where like my back was up against the chair and he's like sliding his hand behind my neck and like pulling on my hair, and I was like, okay, like it was just bad. And so then I'm like there with my head on him, but like it was not like comfortable cuddling at all. I just like, you know, and yeah, so we're laying there, the movie starts, he's on my hair, I can't move, I feel uncomfortable, I don't know him well enough to tell him I don't want to cuddle right now or whatever, I just feel really uncomfortable. And then after the movie started and it's been going for a little while, he leans down and tries to kiss me. And I'm like, okay, first of all, I'm watching a movie. Like, what makes you think I want to kiss you right now when I'm watching a movie? And second of all, again, I've known him for a total of like now an hour and a half. I'm not gonna kiss him. And it's not like we were being super flirty when we were texting, or like I'd given him any kind of ideas of that's what I was into. So I was just like, no, and I didn't let him, and then it was just even more awkward after that. And I was like, oh, dude, like I'm obviously like not feeling it. Maybe it wasn't obvious, but I was not feeling it at all, and I was really uncomfortable the entire movie. It was like 2.5 hours, so that was great. And then as he's like driving me home again, there's like no conversation happening. But yeah, I just was not really having it. And so then we pull up to my house and we sit there in silence for a few seconds, probably like 10 seconds. And then I was like, okay, do you want me to get out, or did you want to talk or something? Because normally like the guy will, I don't know, like I just feel like it's the guy's job to be like, all right, well, it was really great seeing you, or like getting out of the car to open my door, walk me to the door or something. Like, but we're sitting there, and I was like, what do you want me to do? And he's like, oh, we can talk, I guess. And so I was like, okay. So then I was like really probing him, asking him questions, and he was just saying like one-word answers, and it was really awkward. So we're sitting there in the car, and I was like kind of turned away. He's like right here, and I was kind of turning away because I just was feeling uncomfortable, and I didn't really want to be there anymore, but I didn't want to be rude either. And so I was just like sitting there talking, like asking him questions but not making eye contact at all. And then it was like silent for a moment, so I like looked over to him, and he leaned in to kiss me again. And I didn't let him. I was just, I don't know, I just felt like so uncomfortable. And so then when I pulled away, he was like, oh, my bad. And I was just like, yeah, I gotta go. And then I just walked out of the car and went inside, and it was just so bad. Like, I don't know, but there's been plenty of times where a guy has tried to kiss me on a first date, and I just politely say like, oh, I don't kiss on first dates or whatever, and they're super respectful, super supportive of it, and we go on several other dates, and then eventually we do kiss and stuff, and it hasn't been awkward at all. So I don't know why this guy was just, ugh. Anyway, so there's story number one. For my next story, we're going to call this guy Hunter. And Hunter and I had a mutual friend. I'd never met him, I didn't know him at all, but we did have a mutual friend. And he needed a date to Lagoon. Lagoon is an amusement park near where I live. It's super fun. He was going with a group of his friends, not the friend that we knew mutually, but he was going with some of his friends on like a group date, and he really needed a date to go with them or whatever, which I don't know why he couldn't have just tagged along, but he was super worried that he needed a date. And so the mutual friend recommended me, and so he got my number from them and texted me telling me who he was and everything. And he was just like, hey, I really need a date to Lagoon. It's pretty last minute, it's tomorrow, but I just really need a date. Can you go with me? I'll pay for you. And tickets there are pretty expensive, but I did already have a season pass there. And so I was just like, you know, I don't have a lot of people that I can go to Lagoon with, and this guy's offering, it could be fun. He doesn't have to pay for me because I do have a pass, so I might as well go. But they wanted to go like pretty early in the morning and stay pretty late at night because they were only gonna go this one time, and like I said, it's pretty expensive, so they wanted to get their money's worth. But I had like a meeting in the morning, and I already had plans that night as well, so I couldn't go that whole time. But I told him that I would meet him there as soon as I could, and then I would just leave when I needed to leave. We decided to go and everything that next day. I met them there. They had already been there for a little while, but they met me at the front, and it was just really weird. I didn't know any of his friends. I didn't know him, but I was like trying to have a good attitude about it. And then like the entire time when we were like standing in line for rides and stuff, he just was like talking to his friends. He did not talk to me at all. One of the girls in the group was talking to me, and I was like getting to know her, but he like seemed like he had no interest in me, and I was just like, hey, why did you ask me on a date if you like aren't even gonna talk to me? I was just a little bit annoyed. But yeah, anyway, we were there for several hours just riding rides and not really talking at all, but like I had fun still just because of like the activities that we were doing. And then it came time for me to go, and he like walked me to the entrance, and we said our goodbyes. The goodbye wasn't actually that awkward. It was like we hugged, and that was the end of it. And then the next day he was like texting me like non-stop, just be like, hey, how are you? Like, how was your night? Like just texting me over and over and over. And I was just like, what is wrong? Like, it wasn't that great of a date, and he didn't want to talk to me on the date, so why does he want to talk to me so badly now, you know? And then he even called me, and I hate talking on the phone. It just makes me feel weird. I just don't like it. I will FaceTime and stuff, but like talking on the phone, just like having their voice in my ear when I can't see them, I don't know. Just not a fan of it. So I ignored the call, and then I finally texted him back, and I was like, hey, or something, and then he just like kept texting me, and I was just getting annoyed by it. I didn't really have that much fun on the date, had no intention of seeing him again, so I decided I was just going to stop responding to him. But in these many texts that he was sending me, he kept saying, hey, we need to go on another date, like, when are you free again, like, you know, all this stuff. And I just ignored him. And usually after like somebody ignores your like 4 or 5 texts in a row, you get the picture and you stop. But he didn't. And for like 3 days, he kept texting me and calling me. And so I was just like, okay, obviously he's not getting the hint. I need to let him know that I'm not interested and I don't want to go on another date with him. So I just typed out this long text that was just like, hey, so just based on our date, I don't think we're very compatible and I don't think it was a very good match. I don't want to waste your time and I don't want to waste my time, so I don't think that we should continue to pursue this. And then he responded with like a really nasty message, and I am going to actually find it for you because I still have it, and I'm going to read it because it made me so mad. Okay, so he said, yeah, I agree, we did not click, and you really don't know how to hold a conversation. You're super awkward. You don't have any preferences or goals in life. You just play it safe and say, oh, I like everything, I guess. I was pushing for it because Megan and Jace were like, oh, you guys are great together, LOL. I had heard a lot of rumors about you before we went out, not good ones either, haha. Nonetheless, people warned me and I chose not to listen and to take you out on a date. But I should have listened to them. You fit their description perfectly. Next time you go out with someone, don't be such a B word. So first of all, we only have one mutual friend who, honestly, I don't even know that well. She's really good friends with my sister, but not good friends with me. And that's how we knew each other, okay? Was like my sister's friend. And there's no way that she would have heard like bad things about me because I trust my sister 100,000% and she never would have said like any bad things. I really doubt that he heard them from anybody who knows me, you know? So like they're not genuine rumors. And again, rumors doesn't mean that they're true at all. And he's like, I don't know, that's super weird. And then the fact that he's like, you don't know how to hold a conversation. Yeah, well, you never talked to me. You were talking to your friends the entire time, so how could I have held a conversation with you when you didn't even give me the time of day, you know? And the whole like, you have no preferences and you like everything. That's because like when I was talking to his friend, she just kept being like, oh, well, what's your favorite color? Or what's your favorite food? And my opinion on that is that why have a favorite when you can just enjoy everything? Like another example is like, what was your favorite vacation that you've been on? Why would I choose a favorite when I can just like love each of them individually for what they were and what they meant to me, rather than like singling one out and being like, this is the only good experience I had, when I can just love them all. Same thing with food. Why would I limit myself to just having one favorite food when there's so much good food out there? So yeah, I don't really have preferences because I just choose to love life and embrace it for all of its beauty and glory. And I know that seems a little dramatic, but that's how I feel. And the fact that he's like, oh, you don't like anything. No, it's because I like everything. Just made me so freaking mad. And then he's calling me the B word, which is so disrespectful. And I didn't even do anything. All I did was ignore him after he ignored me. Oh, I'm getting heated. This was a while ago, but this is just bringing back all these feelings and emotions, and I'm so mad. Like, how could somebody be that stupid? Like, just please stop. Okay, this is the last story that I'm gonna tell in this video. I might end up making a part 2 because I go on a lot of bad dates, but this is it. This is the last one for this video. This guy, again, I had met on some dating app, and we'd like been talking a little bit, but nothing like super serious. And at the time, my schedule was super crazy busy. I really did not have time to be going on dates or meeting new people because I had so much going on. But I did still like to talk to people occasionally just to give me something to do when I was bored. And so I'd been like kind of talking to this guy, but not a lot. And it turns out he was actually going to school in Oregon, and he was only here visiting for like a week or something, visiting his family. The entire time we were talking, he just kept being like, hey, I really want to meet you, I really want to meet you, can we go on a date? I'm leaving in like a week, I really would like to meet you, like please can we meet? And he was just being super pushy about it, and I really didn't want to, and I really didn't have the time, but he was being so pushy that I was just like, okay fine, I'm gonna give this guy a chance, whatever. So the only like time that I had was between like, it was like 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I was like, I have to be at home and getting ready for bed by 11 p.m. because I had to wake up early the next morning, and I had like just gotten home at 8:30, and so I was like, okay, we can hang out from 9 to 11 and that is it. And he was like, okay, that's totally fine, like I just really want to see you. And I was like, okay, fine. And he said, okay, let's go get ice cream. And I was like, yeah, that's whatever, ice cream's great, yeah. So he comes and picks me up, and we're like going to get ice cream, and we pull up to the Walmart parking lot, and I thought that that was kind of weird. So then we just went in and we bought ice cream from Walmart, And then we go back into his car, and then he was like, oh crap, we didn't get spoons. I don't have any spoons. And I was just like, what? Like, why would you first of all choose to go to Walmart to get ice cream in this situation? Like, I think if we'd been in a relationship for a long time and we'd planned to like go back and watch a movie and like eat it or whatever, that's totally fine. But like, this is our first time meeting, don't really want to like share with you, like I don't know, not really there yet, and then you forget spoons, like what? So then we didn't even end up eating the ice cream. It just sat there because we didn't have spoons, and I didn't like want him to come into my house or anything. My family was asleep, and I just was like, no, like. So then we drive back to my house, and we just sat in my driveway for like 2 hours or however long it was, and we just like, we're sitting there talking, you know, and like the conversation wasn't awful, we just were getting to know each other, but it wasn't great either. Like, the things that he was saying I don't feel like really like matched with my ideas of the world or whatever. And again, like, he was going to school in Oregon, so it's not like there was really any like future there or whatever. So anyway, we talked for a while, and then as like it was nearing 11 o'clock and he knew I was gonna have to leave, he was like, so how do you feel about a long distance relationship? And I was just like, what? Like, I don't know, it just blew my mind that we'd literally only been talking for like 2 hours and he was already like kind of wanting to be in a relationship with me. And not just a relationship, a long distance relationship. I was just like, well, I've actually done one in the past. It was a disaster and it broke my heart and all of these things. So I don't have a great opinion about long distance relationships. Not a fan. And which is mostly true. And so I was just like saying that kind of to get him to be like, oh, okay, this isn't gonna work out. Like, whatever. But then he just kept pushing it, and he kept being like, but my family's here and I come visit all the time, and I'm only in Oregon and it's only like a 2-hour plane ride away or something, and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, what is going on? I don't know this guy, and why would he want to be in a long distance relationship, first of all? And like, we barely even know each other. Like, I was just so confused and not having it. So I just kept being like, yeah, no, I don't have any interest in a long distance relationship. Like, nope, it was great meeting you, but nope, you know. And he just kept being like, well, can we at least still like talk and be friends and like blah, blah, blah. And I was just like, I guess, sure. But like, oh, it just, I don't understand sometimes why people are like this. But it was 11 o'clock. The second it hit 11 o'clock, I was like, yeah, I gotta go. I have to wake up early tomorrow. Thank you, and bye. And I just like got out of the car and left. Like, just bad. So yeah, those are just a few stories of bad dates that I've been on. I hope that you enjoyed this video, that it made you laugh. If you do want to see a part 2, leave a comment down below and let me know. If you liked it, you know what to do, and please subscribe. It doesn't hurt you at all, but it helps me a lot. I do post new videos every Thursday, and you don't want to miss any of those. You can also follow me on my Instagram. It will be on the screen and down below, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!